Nation!
Hey!
Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Post Game. It's the Winners Lounge, presented to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Don't forget that promo code CHGO when you sign up. Peck, Bulls_Peck on Twitter. My guy Big Dave, Bow, BNWL Sports. Joining us from down under, it's our guy Mark Carrizolis. Follow him on Twitter at MKHoops. Joey, our producer, is at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO_Bulls. Bulls win, and they win big. 144-115 over the Luka-less Dallas Mavericks, who were on the second night of a back-to-back. Bulls, we were talking about it in pregame. This is your opportunity for a coasting blowout win.
Yeah.
The Bulls didn't mess around.
No, they didn't.
They did exactly that, and they started it off, Dave, with some pretty flawless ball movement and offensive execution.
I mean, it was beautiful to see.
Instead of throwing hats, we're throwing kisses.
That's right, man. Let's just toss them out there to them. Kisses and roses. You've been kissed by a rose. You've heard that song, Joey?
Baby!
I can do to be a kiss by a rose on the grave. Seal! But that's how happy we are, man. But that's exactly how it was, Matt. You were sitting there. I'm just over there yelling at how excited I was at the ball movement that was happening. The 1-3 early three where it just went around the horn.
Kicked it out of the post and then
round the horn. Boom, over to Zach LaVine for that corner timeout three. I've said to you many a time this season, when do the Bulls hit the timeout three? I wanted a timeout three so bad. They gave me several timeout threes in this game, and it was very exciting to watch. The execution, Mark, was just flawless by this team, man, on offense and defense. They were out there doing what they do best anyway, which is getting steals and getting out in transition, but coupling that with the three-point shooting, because as we know, we talked about it a million times, when they shoot over 40%, they don't lose. Well, now they're 8-0. Because they definitely shot over that. They shot 55% from three. You heard what I said. 55% from three. Insane by the Bulls tonight.
Definitely. And spoiler alert, that three-point make that you illustrated, that's going to be in the post-game story tonight. But, I mean, this is the game that you love to see, and it's unfortunate that Will isn't here because, like, the night that the Will goes away, the Bulls start raining threes. So I thought that was quite funny, but it was very interesting how they were getting a lot of these threes by hitting Vooch in the post, and again, like, that's something that'll be in the post game story tonight. But like, a lot of this 3-point shooting started by getting the ball initially into Vooch, whether it was him finding the shooter or him connecting to the next guy who found the shooter, whatever the situation was. If you want to go inside and use Vooch in the post, do so as a passer. I'm all about that. I'm less so about it, feeding him the ball and have his trying to him backing down and trying to score over his guy. But the way they used Vooch in order to create those threes was really, really nice. Yeah. The way that so many of these threes were just sort of catch and shoot threes. They weren't sort of off the bounce threes. Really nice stuff from that perspective. But in terms of like the first quarter, 7 of 12 from three in that first quarter. Over 50% of their shots in that first quarter were threes. The 3-point attempt rate for the team more generally tonight was really nice and encouraging. And I mean, it goes without saying, but this is like a really nice game or a really nice avenue for us to sort of see what this team can be when they actually have some shooting around them. Now, obviously, tonight was maybe some unsustainable shooting, let's say, but it just gives you a glimpse of what Vooch, LaVine, and DeRozan can be when they have that consistent role guys around them shooting the jumpers. So note to AK, get some freaking shooters in here, mate, because this is what this offense can look like.
Are you saying that Derek Jones Jr. going 4 of 5 from downtown off the bench is not sustainable, Mark?
How dare you?
Yeah, just quietly. I don't think that's potentially sustainable. But
what about Tony Bradley going 1 for 1? Huh?
3-point champion, Tony Bradley, mind you, sir.
It's true.
Respect that.
Bulls practice 3-point champion. But okay, the Bulls as a team, you were talking about how they're knocking down their threes tonight. 19 of 34, a season high in makes. 19. My favorite part of it, Patrick Williams.
Come on,
confidently stroking, knocking down 4 of 5.
Pretty.
I don't even really care that he didn't do much scoring inside tonight. He finished 6 of 10 overall, 4 or 5 from downtown. He was confidently shooting those threes, and he swished every one.
Every single
Everyone was a swish.
Yeah. Just didn't touch any rim at all. It was so beautiful.
God, I
to
love
watch,
that.
man. Yeah. It felt great. And that had to feel good for him. And, you know, like they say, shooting is contagious. Like, it started working for him, and Derrick Jones Jr. is like, well, it's going to work for me. And everybody else down the line except for Kobe White, who didn't hit a 3 tonight, which is wild in the 3-point
Kobe went
game.
0-5, and the Bulls were on fire from
The guy
three.
on fire. He's like, oh, it's my time to get in it? No, you're not allowed in the party. He wasn't allowed in the party tonight, but it's okay, man. But, yeah, man, Patrick Williams, and he set the tone, from the beginning. Like, he was the one that kicked it off and set that tone for them. And then he did a Patrick Williams thing where he get that block, you know what I'm saying, and starts to transition on down floor on the other end. And Patrick Williams has a different kind of block. He doesn't have a meet you at the rim block. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He has a meet you at the mid-range block. You know what I mean? And that's not a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a normal skill to have. But he has that skill because his blocks are, when he does it, obviously it's easier to recover the ball and get out in transition, as you see the Bulls do. And, yeah, he just had a really solid game, though, man. Like you said, you saw him go to the rim a couple times, guys, and it didn't matter to me. Like Matt said, I didn't care. I was like, great, yeah, you went to the rim, wonderful. Shoot again. Mm-hmm. Shoot that 3 again. It was very pretty tonight, and I was just happy for him and his confidence because this has to have done something for him. And now I'm wondering, guys, if the fact that Patrick Williams won the bowling tournament, the Chicago Bulls bowling tournament,
I saw that
over the past few weeks, if that had anything to do with it. I'm putting all of it in there, Mark. Throw it all in the blender, stir it up, man, and let's get drunk on it tonight because they got 144 of these cats.
Well, look, maybe that was the catalyst for it, but I don't know what it was. But like this kind of performance from Pat gets me more excited than the game that he held against the Celtics, where he was sort of taking Jason Tatum off the bounce and doing things off the bounce like that. Like, obviously, that's cool to see. I'm not saying that's bad or anything like that, but this was like the perfect role guy game where the ball swings to Pat. He just takes the open jumper and he makes the open jumper. Like, you're not relying on him to do things off the bounce or create or score in different various ways. Obviously, that's encouraging to see, but like this is kind of like the 80% of what Pat needs to do, right? Like, more often than not, the type of shots he's going to get are these catch and shoot looks from 3. They're the looks that he's going to find that are most open. These are the looks that he needs to take. So the fact that he stepped into 4 or 5 so confidently and didn't hesitate in the way he did tonight, like that was really encouraging because we were talking about it last game against the Wizards. There was that possession where DeMar kicked the ball to Pat. He was open from 3, but he sort of record scratched, didn't take the shot, ultimately decided to drive into traffic afterwards and turn the ball over. None of that tonight. Just took the open shots, took everything in rhythm. So these games, I feel, for me at least, these are the ones that make me really encouraged with Pat. Like, just do what you need to do from a role guy perspective. He made his threes, had the 2 blocks like you referenced, Dave, had 3 assists, 3 boards, just sort of chipping in here and there, just filling in the game. And that's the stuff that he should be able to do every single game. So I get really excited about these types of Pat games. 16 points plus 16 in this game. Really good night from Pat. My buddy here from Queensland here in Australia, Rob Queenslander. It was a great game. No ill words from me about Pat tonight. He brought it.
He brought it. In the comments, Gio saying franchise high 82 first half points. Whew. Crazy good. I mean, I was sitting there at some point midway through the second, was like, wait, they have 60 something already?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Go get 80 in the first half. That would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Because mostly what's in our recent memory from when this Bulls team was trash was getting 80 or 90 dropped on you
92.
in the first half. Thank you, Warriors.
Golden State, Jackie Moon game.
But, I mean, such incredible execution. So not a franchise high for most points ever scored in a half. First half specifically.
Right.
The Bulls apparently had an 86-point half at some point in the second half. Mm-hmm. I think I saw that via Casey Johnson on Twitter at halftime. But, like, not only franchise highs, but season highs across the board. I mentioned the 19 threes is a season high in makes. Also, 35 assists for this Bulls offense tonight.
Jeez.
That is a season high. And apparently it's something that Billy Donovan has talked about wanting to see is multiple players scoring in double figures and getting that team total assist number up there. I mean, talk about balance. You got 28 from DeMar, 20 from Vooch, 16 each from Pat and Zach. Only 1 point from Caruso, your fifth starter, but he left early in this game with an injury, did not return. More on that later. You get 16 from Jones off the bench, 14 from Dragic, 17 from Ayo off the bench.
Jeez.
And everybody is passing to everybody.
9 and 7 from Drummond as well. And, my favorite thing about this was early on when that around the horn pass happened was when Dak hits that three, the immediate joy on his face.
Just big old grin.
Big old damn grin on his face, high-fiving his teammates. And I was like, oh, shit, it's that night, isn't it? Like, it's feeling like that night. I don't remember them smiling that early, you know what I'm saying, in the league. So it just felt good from that perspective to see that, and it continued, and it got more contagious. I like even the fact when Dallas started trying, like any team, they start trying to making their mini runs, closing the gap. Spencer Dinwiddie started hitting some buckets, doing those things. No, Pat Williams 3. No, defense, DeMar down, bucket. No, more defense, passes to Zach LaVine, bucket. Get it to Vooch, he gets the pass out, another bucket. Like, they immediately go on like a 14-0 run. The droughts that they were taking them on. And again, before you invite, yes, I know that Luka wasn't there. We know that they didn't have those players there. But anytime you can do that, go look at this next Pacers game if you want to see it like that, okay? The Nets had 8 people out,
right,
and they still won the damn game.
Right.
So what side you want to be on? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be on this side right here getting this W, Mark K.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Dave. And like there was, even without Luka, like the Bulls got down. Not necessarily got down, but they saw their big lead evaporate pretty quickly, and that didn't necessarily stop them. They poured back on points and ultimately got back up by 20-something points pretty quickly thereafter. So for the most part tonight, like I spoke about this last post game, but we haven't really seen the Bulls really put together 48 minutes of solid play. They didn't necessarily do that tonight either because, like I said, they allowed the Mavs to get back in the game in that first quarter. That they probably played 42 out of a good 42 minutes out of 48. So you'll take that from that sense. But you touched on it there, Dave, but I thought like the defense early really set the tone for this one. The way the Bulls were helping in on and doubling up on the ball handler that the Mavs did have. Obviously, without Luka, it sort of forces their role guys to probably do more than what they're comfortable to do. There was times where like Dorian Finney-Smith or Tim Hardaway or someone like that was forced to sort of create off the bounce. And the Bulls more generally always want to help in and sort of double up on the ball like that. But when you've got lesser players sort of trying to create off the bounce like that, it really, you give yourself an opportunity to really get in there and steal the ball and to create those transition opportunities. And I thought the Bulls did a really good job of that in that first half, particularly, which sort of set up the rest of their offensive game. They just got into a natural flow. They got those easy looks at the rim, and that started fueling the 3-point game as well. So I thought tonight was a really good game in the sense that their defense really fueled their offense. And that's, again, another thing I've been saying all season. This needs to be a defensive team first. The offense will flow out of that. And that's exactly what we saw in that first quarter and into that first half.
We got happy Bulls fans in the comments.
Woo!
I love it.
My favorite.
General STE saying, damn, this felt good. Worth staying up till 4 a.m. for. Good for you.
Soldier.
Bob O saying, this is how you have to play when teams rest starters against you. You got to take that ish personally. Yeah, and like you were saying, Dave, we all know that Luka was out tonight. So good. That's the result we wanted to see.
Right, exactly.
A team without their best player.
Yeah.
That's why I was upset when we barely managed to drag our asses across the finish line for a W against the Beal-less Wizards. Because we won the game, but we looked like crap doing it. We won this game against a team that was missing its best player, and we looked damn good doing it. That's the difference.
And a better team, too.
Right. Our pal Salim from Bulls Gold chiming in saying, very good win. Bulls' lower 3 attempt rate is a product of roster construction, but also a lack of ball movement. Don't think tonight attempts were a coincidence since that ball was moving well.
Move in, baby. It's so much fun to watch when that ball, when that kind of basketball is being played. You know what I mean? Like for just basketball nerds, like it's just that much fun to sit there and watch that kind of execution. Like I know, it's cool to watch the one-on-one stuff. Like I love it. You know what I mean? Like I can't get enough of it. But man, when that basketball is moving and those guys are executing, this is why when I get on here, I talk about how much I love watching the Spurs play. You know what I mean? Why I like watching those kind of teams in Golden State, just because of that execution. Yeah, they got Steph who can, just embarrass you by himself. But man, when that ball's not sticking and they hitting that open man and making that extra pass, it's sexy as hell. And the Bulls were sexy as hell tonight playing basketball. And every shot that they took was just within so much awesome rhythm, you know, because that's what that kind of stuff creates. It creates that rhythm, and everybody knows it. Nobody's thinking anymore. Everybody's just reacting because the ball is constantly moving and hitting every single person it needs to, man, and finding the open man. And that's the beauty of it. Honestly, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and look, as much as we should give credit to the Bulls offense and the way they were swinging that ball around, and that was nice to see. It was a welcome change to maybe what we've gotten used to. At the same time, I think it would be remiss of us not to point out how bad the Mavs were on defense, particularly like Christian Wood. Man, was he bad on defense. There were so many breakdowns from a Dallas defensive standpoint. Now, yes, the Bulls were forcing some of those breakdowns, but it's a lot easier to move that ball when you've got Spencer Dinwiddie out there with Christian Wood and Tim Hardaway. Yeah. Like those dudes aren't going to be stopping anyone. So I guess today's game was a nice template. It was a good foundation piece for Billy and his coaching staff to say this is what it should look like. This is how we should be moving the ball. But at the same time, this came against a team that probably doesn't have a lot of defensive options out there. So whilst I want to go all in and say this is now what we should expect baseline, this is what we should expect going forward every single time from a passing perspective, I do have it in the back of my mind that this Mavs team aren't necessarily the best defensive team going around, particularly with the personnel they had out there tonight, especially when you're starting Christian Wood. So that would be my lone wet blanket comment I think that I wanted to make on that one aspect of the game.
I don't think that's your lone one, man. You got more in you, Marquet.
There's always more in Marquet.
I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, everyone's in a good mood. And I mean, Dave, you mentioned the timeout three that Zach hit after that beautiful ball movement in the first quarter. Yeah. We saw a couple of times Zach LaVine have other kind of like smiley, laughing moments tonight when he was realizing in real time the ease at which he got to the rim.
Yes.
Like, did you recall those moments where Zach was like, "Oh, I can just get to the rim tonight if I want to."
Yeah.
Without much resistance at all.
Like, this is fun.
Yeah, to your point, Mark, this Mavs defense certainly did them some favors. But hey, again, take advantage of what opportunity is presented to you.
And that's the point I'm making here. Like, and all that is correct. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have Kleber, who's their best big man defender out there. They didn't have him out there tonight. Like, there was so many guys, other guys, Josh Green, the other guy. Mm-hmm. There were so many guys missing from the team tonight that it wasn't going to be like that. And it just marvels me that they're a top 10 defense. Like, I'm just amazed. Like, they're a top 10 defense, man. But yeah, like having those guys out there who are defensively deficient, like they're going to struggle. You know what I mean? And the Bulls just did the right thing. And that's like what I'm excited about more than anything is they executed well. Like, not just executed good enough to win. No, they executed good enough to whoop your ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. It was well done. We haven't seen it well done. We haven't had this kind of game this season where it was just well done execution. I don't care who they're playing. You know what I mean? Like, they could play in a high school team. I don't care. But we hadn't seen it this year from them, and it was people who were doubting you could see that from them this year against anybody they were playing. So that's what's exciting to me about it. And no, I don't expect to see it, you know what I'm saying, every single game. Of course you want to, but you don't expect to see it because like Marquet pointed out, you're going to play teams who are going to have their best defenders out there in these next games. Let's watch this next game. You know what I'm saying? Even though we'll see if DeJounte Murray, you know what I'm saying, is going to be available now. But that's a better defensive team. We know they're a top 10 team.
Right.
So we're going to see that. But man, dude, just watching them execute, and I hope they take that with them and let themselves know, like, yeah, we can be this. We can do this, bro. Like, we are this kind of team. We can be this kind of team.
I mean, whether it was the half court or in transition, the Bulls were scoring with ease tonight. We've talked about the ball movement, but the other part of that to execute and capitalize on all that great ball movement is taking care of the ball. Not turning the ball over.
That's right.
I was sitting in this very chair having a conniption fit on Wednesday after the win over the Wizards because the Bulls turned the ball over 19 times.
Marquet remembers.
You want to know how many times the Bulls turned the ball over tonight? 8.
8 times.
I love single digits in the turnover column. Take care of the ball.
It is attractive. And real quick, I wanted to say DeMar DeRozan got the DeMar DeRozan threes. And what I mean by that is he went to the free throw line 9 times, all right? 9 of them times he was at the free throw line feasting.
I don't remember him being at the free throw line 9 times.
He was
It's because he wasn't at the free throw line. He was skipping school. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
He threw me off, man. I'm
How
sorry.
many people are going to get this reference?
You see what I deal with, Marquez? That's what I roll with, man. But yes, he was there, 9 of 9, and it was just on point, man. And he had a great second quarter. He had a great third quarter. You know, you just saw those plays coming. You know, he was in his rhythm because everybody else was in their rhythm. And that's why it looks so good. But that's what I mean when I say those DeMar DeRozan threes. Those are his threes, Marquez.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. And look, I mean, he got there 9 times, but the rest of the team didn't necessarily get there. But coming back to like just the point more that you're making before, Dave, like, and even what I said before, like, yes, okay, they faced a poor defensive team, or at least a team that didn't necessarily have their best defensive team out there. But to what you were saying, like the Wizards were that exact team the other night as well, like, and the Bulls barely beat that team. So in that sense, like, okay, fine, you're playing a weaker defensive team, but compared to last game where they didn't necessarily take care of business, they did tonight. So that's why I think we're all pretty happy about this one, because this was just a good professional win. This is what you're meant to do when a team is without not only their best guy, but you know, that maybe their best big and another guy in shout out to Australian Josh Green, who's turned himself into a player. Like, that's 3 rotational guys, and well, more than 3 because Luka counts for like 2 or 3 guys, to be honest with you. But so in that sense, maybe I was being a bit too much of a doomer there, because the Bulls took care of business. They haven't been doing that all season. So yeah, maybe we should be shouting them out for doing that.
Speaking of shouting out, a couple of super chats to shout out and bring us into our first ad break. Manuel with a super chat saying, love the win, guys, all around. Play was great. Best part, Zach's off-ball defense, which has been improving, and he looks like he's having fun. I do love seeing Zach LaVine smile.
Look, man,
it's great.
It is a great shot. Just
great.
watching Zach be happy, bro. How the team flows. And again, 2 steals again for Zach LaVine tonight. That's all I need him to do, bro. Get them steals.
Love that Zach defense. Shout out also to Eli for the super chat. All right, while
Big
we're
dog.
35.90 shekels.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
love me some shekels.
Shillings.
Shekels.
I know shekels. I'm just tossing out the shillings as well.
While we're sharing some words from our friends and sponsors with you all, hit that thumbs up button if you're watching live along with us on YouTube. Appreciate it. Today's episode brought to y'all by
Who?
our friends at Green Ridge Farm. Y'all. Green Ridge Farm is a Chicago local meat and cheese company offering you a better, all-natural option. Makers of all-natural deli meat, sausages, and their famous meat sticks. I saw somebody in the comments talking about them. Perfect for tailgating, happy hour, and school lunches. Plus, with 16 grams of protein packed into every meat stick, they make a perfect post-workout snack. I'm working out all the time. I'm eating meat sticks all the time afterwards. You can get them in chicken and Black Forest beef, different flavors like jalapeno cheddar and spicy chili. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Delicious because they're made from recipes generations in the making, and being all natural, they deliver a fresh and flavorful alternative at snack time. You can always find them in the refrigerated sections of both Costco and Sam's Club, plus all of your Chicagoland grocery stores. And right now, if you go to their website and order online at greenridgefarm.com, put 3 of their products in your shopping cart, add some meat sticks to that shopping cart. Those meat sticks will be free if you use promo code CHGO. Meat sticks in your cart, greenridgefarm.com, promo code CHGO, free meat sticks.
Who don't want that?
What else do I have to say, people?
That's right.
Free meat sticks. greenridgefarm.com, promo code CHGO. Get some meat up in your life.
Go do it. You know what I was thinking about when you said school lunches? Like, how cool would it be if you had lunch with a kid and you just pull out of your lunchbox a meat stick at lunch? You know what I mean? Who's messing with a kid who's eating a meat stick, man?
What makes you
Straight
think I
up.
did't have meat sticks in my
I don't.
packed lunches as a child?
No, I don't. I'm just saying now, today. Sir, I know you had several. No, I know you did, man. But, man, that's just some kid pull that out and just eating it, you know what I'm saying? Like a conquering Viking warrior, just eating a meat stick. Shout out to the youth for getting their meat sticks on, baby. Shout out Green Ridge Farm.
The cool youth know what's up.
They understand. You
And
know who
what's
else is
up
the cool
meat
youth?
sticks. Joey?
No. But you set yourself up, Joey.
Yes.
You set yourself up. You raised your hand when I said you don't have to raise your
They
hand.
didn't have to know that.
But I did. Why you think I went away from you? Joey, what time is it?
Game time. Who?
The hottest new ticket in sight. makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, because we know that you have dreamed about sitting on that 50-yard line, sitting courtside or behind home plate, floor seats at that concert. Well, guess what? It's all possible with the Game Time app, y'all. Biggest last-minute price drops can be found on seats you thought that you could never, ever afford. You won't find better deals this season to see the beloved Chicago Bulls. Created by the fans and for the fans, just like here at CHGO, and it guarantees the lowest price. So, if you love CHGO, Joey,
And we know you do.
then you'll love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description. That is, you do that, but the first thing you do, you hit that thumbs up. Boom, boom, click that, right there. Then you go ahead and you buy those tickets through the link in your description and join the 15 million people who have done so and downloaded that Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events. Because, Matt Pack, what time is it?
Game time.
Smack.
I felt that even more wearing this dope 70 wins Bulls tee.
So cold, man.
They knew when it was game time.
Oh, did they?
They did.
You felt that. That's why you felt it more when you said it. I get
It's
it.
true.
Now. Yeah. Because that was like that. Look at
They were
them,
like
man.
that.
Finders keepers, man.
Dude, shout out to our
Finders
friends,
Keepers.
Simon and Cece, Finders Keeper Shy. Look them up.
Yeah.
Vintage Bulls tees. They got awesome bear stuff, too.
Also, their store, 3350 North Paulina.
There you go.
That
Paulina.
is- Paulina. I call it Paulina. My bad. Paulina. I'm
You're,
gonna walk some laps.
you're a terrorist
Yeah,
if you
you're
say
right.
Paulina.
I'm gonna walk some
it's
laps for that.
Paulina, damn it.
I'm gonna walk some laps for that. But that's where they at. Go check out their store, man. You know what I'm saying? That's where they have their residency. That's, in the Lakeview area. Go check them out and get you some of this illness that he's got on. Hat too. It's the hat also as well.
I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but this is freaking. Are you kidding me? Feel that.
That corduroy.
Corduroy. It's a corduroy, like Clark Griswold Bulls hat.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
come on.
It is.
Where else can you find an item like this?
Cannot. Finders keepers can find it though, and they got it for you. Head over and holler at them. Shout out Simon. Shout out CC.
Glorious.
Glorious.
Mark, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the Bulls bench performance tonight. I feel like the Bulls bench have been struggling in some of these games recently, not producing, not being that spark that this team had counted on earlier in the season. We mentioned the fact that, not only did Ayo have himself a solid game with 17 points on an efficient 6 of 9, he even hit his threes. He's been ice cold of three of late until tonight. But, I mean, guys like Derrick Jones Jr. Chipping in. Drummond, whose minutes have shrunk recently, as Dave mentioned, a solid 9 and 7. He and Dragic doing their thing. What did you think from this Bulls second unit tonight, Mark?
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, but like when the second unit came in that first stint, that's when the Bulls gave up that run. Like Ayo, Kobe, and Derrick Jones Jr. came in with, I think it was Zach and Vooch at that point. They gave up a big run there. But then in came Dragic, in came Drummond, and then the Bulls started to settle things down. DeRozan came back into that second unit. Again, that's an adjustment that Billy's been making over the last few games, is getting DeMar back in with that second unit. He's sort of gone away from the Levine-led second unit. So it didn't initially start very well. And that's actually where I was starting to get very concerned, because the first sort of 6 minutes of the game was nice, and then the Bulls kind of let the Mavs back in, but then they blew it back out again. So not a great start initially for the bench, but then they settled. They got into it. Dragic was really good. There was a lot of talk pre-game about the whole Dragic Luka thing, all these sorts of things, and obviously Kemba playing his first game for the Mavs as well. But we forget that the Mavs probably should have Dragic on their team. Like, really, instead of having they went with Campazzo earlier on. They went with Kemba Walker now. If they had even Jalen Hardy playing minutes now, like, they could have easily had Dragic on their team, but for whatever reason, they didn't rate him and didn't want him in this game, which was nice for us, obviously, because Dragic has been fantastic and was great tonight against the Mavs. But yeah, the bench more generally, I don't know who spoke to Drummond, but someone's clearly said something to him, because his level of engagement tonight was not like as it's been for like the last 2 weeks, where Billy has been trending small. You've been seeing Derrick Jones Jr. play more games at center, and that's because Drummond just hasn't been bringing it, to be frank. Whereas tonight, he was rolling hard, he was defending hard. Every time he got the ball near the rim, he was dunking the effing hell out of that thing. So this is what you want from Drummond, to play like that big unit that he is, and he brought it tonight. So shout out to Drummond for the way he played. Hopefully he continues doing that. But as you noted before, is Derek Jones going to shoot 4 for 5 from 3 every single night? Probably not. But the way he was attacking the rim every single game as well, really good. Like, Kobe didn't influence the scoring column, but that dude had 2 blocks tonight. He was doing some things on defense. So, like, everyone that checked in the game did something for the Bulls. You mentioned Io as well. He was up into double figures, doing some interesting stuff off ball. We've talked about Dragic, but the bench more generally really brought it tonight when initially I didn't think they were going to be, but based on how things started.
And even on top of that, with that, as far as Kobe, he also had 6 assists. So Marquez is absolutely correct. Like, he was out there doing other things, which is what we always talked about with Kobe. You know, like, when the scoring goes, what else can you do? Because that keeps you on the floor. Well, that's why he was on the floor for 26 extra minutes. Of course, it was an ass whooping. We understand that.
And Caruso leaving.
Correct. And that also led to it. But he could have easily went another way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And said, Kobe, you ain't got it. We're going another way. But no, he left him out there. His defense was solid. And, you know, getting those 6 assists and a steal and those 2 blocks, as Mark K. mentioned, definitely big. And that's awesome to see from Kobe. And he mentioned Derrick Jones Jr. because he had, like he mentioned, the Drummond dunks. Like, you're right, Derrick Jones Jr. had one of those dunks as well. Like, one of those vicious, mean dunks that I was just yelling about. And it was great to see, man. So, yeah, everybody kind of was at the top of their game tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just really great to see. Even with Kobe, you know, not scoring, he still was at a nice level of his game.
Speaking of which, we got some people in the comments wondering about Kobe as well. AK with a super chat saying, what do you guys make of Kobe's play? Played 26 minutes, managed only 2 points, 1 less than Bradley.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
come
you
on.
put it that way.
Our guy Rob, one of our regulars, saying, come on, 2 points and 0 of 5, trade Kobe. Look, Mark and Dave just laid out for you guys the ways in which Kobe still made himself effective tonight, despite the fact that he couldn't hit a 3.
Yeah.
He set up his teammates, and he played. I even remarked unprompted to you tonight, Dave. I was like, oh, Kobe's playing some defense tonight.
Yeah.
Unprompted.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that Kobe was playing defense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had a rough night shooting. If you're going to say trade Kobe because he had a rough night shooting, maybe you're looking for something more substantial than that. But, and I'm not picking on Rob specifically in the comments here, but because you're not the only person to say trade Kobe White.
Right.
Everybody has been talking about it for years.
Yeah.
But what makes me crack up is when someone is like, oh, that guy sucks. He had a shitty game just now. Trade him. Okay. For what? For who? This guy sucks. He's useless. Trade him for something better.
And
I don't get it.
Would be.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I want to give my guy Rob here the benefit of the doubt here, and then maybe he's just being sarcastic, and you Americans aren't good at maybe picking up on that tone. Maybe that's what's happening here. But to your point, more generally, yeah. I mean, we can't be trashing guys every single game. Right? This guy sucks. This guy can't do this. This guy can't do that. Trading for a future superstar. It doesn't work like that, guys. That's not how it works. So either he sucks and you're not getting for anything for him and you just got to bench him because that's just what it is, or maybe he's okay and you can get something back. It can't be both. But yeah, more generally, maybe Rob is just being sarcastic. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
And also, I'm not going to pick on him when you won 144 to 115 and you shot 55% from 3. I mean, why am I nitpicking that the guard coming off the bench and you just did that? I'm not doing that tonight. That is not a thing tonight, guys. No. Fine, be happy. You 144 to 115. All right, this ain't the Wizards game. All right, this is the 144 115. It wasn't like, oh man, if Kobe hits that, man, oh my God, we might have lost the game. No, bro. It didn't matter. He could have thrown it in the ocean 12 times. They're going to still win by like 25, bro. It's fine. Just leave it alone, all right? It's cool, bro.
Looks like there was no sarcasm there, Mark, because Rob's doubling down saying he had a rough year, time to go. Knicks don't value Cam Reddish. Make the call.
Knicks don't Cam, man.
Does anyone value Cam Reddish? I don't know if Cam Reddish values Cam Reddish.
I agree. Like, on paper, Cam Reddish is very intriguing. He's big. He can shoot. He projects. He came out like looking like someone that could be a 3-and-D guy, defend multiple positions. There's something there when you have multiple teams that have now deemed that he is not worth cracking the rotation. Like, that says more that should say more than anything about, his like college tape or anything like that.
There are multiple teams that are like,
Yeah.
Right. Like the Atlanta Hawks were willing to trade you after a year and a half, and then the Knicks, who gave up assets to get you, are like, well, we're still just going to like sit your ass
the
on
minute he went
on
to the
bench.
Knicks, I said he's never going to play again. Like, Tibbs ain't going to stand for that. Tibbs ain't going to roll with that, bro. And you ain't playing defense, man.
And who knows? Cam Reddish
Lo
could
and
be
behold.
good, but
Lo and behold, DNP is what it's going to be, bro, from here going forward.
DNP TT did not play Tom Thibodeau. We got to take another quick break here. When we come back, speaking of those Hawks, that's what we have on deck tomorrow. We'll take a look at them. And, of course, it's a victory. Goon of the night.
Boom.
Coming up next.
Arr, arr.
Speaking of goons of the nights and kings of the games,
And what knots in the woozy?
post game of court, the woozy is a wazzy. Of course, post game brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook.
DraftKings.
Our DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game. Plenty of options. The whole Bulls team deserves it tonight, but it's DeMar DeRozan. Dave, you mentioned his early and often trips to the free throw line tonight. He finishes with a team high 28 on 9 of 13 and 9 of 9 at the free throw line.
Awesome.
Also, grabbing 9 boards and dishing out 5 assists.
I heard that's good.
That is pretty darn good. You know what else is good? Having fun, making some parlays, and winning money at DraftKings Sportsbook.
It's a thing.
Download that DraftKings Sportsbook app using promo code CHGO and put a $5 money line bet on any NBA game for your chance to win $150 in free bets if your team wins.
Nice.
Promo code CHGO, DraftKings Sportsbook.
Joseph.
yes.
They never understood.
Never.
Ever.
Never.
Got it. The hell?
They never understood.
Why are them sunglasses so damn expensive? Why? Shady Rays don't get it. So they set out to change some things. They said you don't have to break the bank to get these high quality sunglasses. They said you can get them and save yourself some money. Because see, at Shady Rays, Joey, I don't know if you knew this, but they offer those premium polarized shades featuring that world-class optical clarity, that sustainable durability, and styles cater to everyone and every lifestyle. Oh, and the best part about Shady Rays, they got that most insane protection program. It's that lost and broken replacements, or what I like to call the Matt Peck plan. If you lose them glasses because somebody has tossed them because they are angry at what they're seeing the Chicago Bulls do, or anybody, because Matt can be angry over many things. He tosses his hat. And, hey, glasses might be on there. They break on day one, Shady Rays, boom. New pair, no questions asked. 200,000 5-star reviews from the Shady Rays customers. They enjoy that protection program, and they enjoy saving some money and looking good doing it. So, exclusively for the listeners out there, Shady Rays run their deepest deal of the season. Use that code CHGO for 50% off of 2 or more pairs of those optimum shades at Shady Rays. That's a buy one, get one free. What they call that, Matt?
BOGO?
That's a BOGO for the low 54 for sure. Redeem only at ShadyRays.com, where you can find their newest and best shades. Because it's Shady Rays with them shades right there. See that? Shady Rays? Them rays. Oh, so damn shady. Point on!
I love these things, man.
Don't they also?
Can we take 2 minutes here to also talk about our beautiful takeover?
Let's do it.
That is missized on this graphic, but
Where have we settled yet on whether Joey or Big Dave is going to be our bus driver?
I actually want Joey. Mark K, who do you think should drive the bus? Me or Joey? Who do you think should drive this bus?
Probably you, Dave. I would trust you more. You're more responsible, I would say, more generally. And it sounds like Joey wants to get on the beers anyway. So it sounds like that's the right option from my perspective.
okay. First of all, yes, I do want to get on the beers, but I'm responsible. All right, but I agree, Dave. You'll drive the bus.
I like how you took offense but then agreed.
You're not. No, yeah. See, I took a little bit of offense, but at the
How
same
do you
time,
take offense but you're like, but you're
Mark's right. You're right.
How dare you
Also,
be correct?
Will is the one that we refer to as the adult around here.
That's right.
And
Will is
he's
the adult.
gone.
That's right.
Went to Brazil
Yes, he did.
again.
Like an adult.
Bon voyage, buddy.
Like an adult.
We miss you already.
Yes, yes.
But if the token adult is not around, then one of the children has to drive the bus.
This is true. That's what it is.
All I know is Dib's not me.
No. You see, we never even,
No one even contemplated me driving the bus.
That's why I asked Marquet. Nobody even didn't cross the mind. at all.
I'm a very good driver. I'm an excellent driver.
I'm sure you are, sir, but not on the 16th. And yes, everybody come hang out with us. This takeover is going to be amazing. Get your tickets now. Drinks are included with that.
For the low,
Under
under $100.
$100.
The diehard price, you can get pregame beers with us at Crossroads.
Come on.
Shuttle ride to the United Center.
Come on.
And a game ticket.
Come on.
And the immaculate vibes.
Immaculate vibes.
Of watching Bulls games with us Bulls people.
Yes, man. It's going to be amazing, Bulls Nation. And all of them going to be in the house, man. It's going to be fun, dude. It's going to be fun. You know how many people be like, man, we want to watch games with you guys. We're going to do that. Here it is. Right here in your face. Come watch the game with us, man.
We'll be there. Will you be there?
Right there. Come do it.
As it says on the screen there, you can get tickets at our website, allchgo.com. Just find that takeover logo, click it. It'll bring you to the Eventbrite website. I believe they're also still pinned at the top of our CHGO_Bulls Twitter account. You can find the links there as well.
Yeah.
Get y'all's tickets.
Get them. Come hang out. We love to see you.
I love Benjamin in the comments. Blow it up. Another day. See red. Woo. Taking that blow it up part of the fandom, flipping it on its head.
I like Salim saying Kobe for Luka.
It'll totally work.
Oh, man.
It'll totally work.
Yeah, man.
Or don't think I didn't see you playing with the trade machine the other day, Marquet, when somebody said that the Miami Heat should blow it up, and you were like, oh, yeah, let's get Jimmy back, and also Bam. It'll totally work.
Hey, I got the green light, mate. The thing worked. Clearly it's possible. The Heat lost again tonight. The Bulls just won. Bring back Jimmy, bring in Bam, ship out Vooch, Lonzo, Patrick Williams, whatever it has to take. Let's get it done.
Oh, man, that would be awesome.
All right, guys, moving along to night 2 of the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Playing Trey and the Hawks tomorrow. That team's got a whole lot of drama going on, but let's start with the Bulls. Per Casey Johnson after tonight's game, Billy Donovan said Alex Caruso will not travel to Atlanta with that tailbone contusion that caused him to leave tonight's game and not return.
Yeah.
Hopefully not very serious. We know how important Caruso is to this team. I kind of assumed because the Bulls were up 30, they were like, all right, chill.
Take a break, yeah.
But not a great sign that he's not planning on playing tomorrow.
It's not, but it's a back-to-back as well. You know what I mean? So you might want to just take that rest. So I also wonder, does this mean Javonte will play? You know what I mean? Maybe Javonte plays in this game, you know what I mean? And they let Caruso get that rest. And also, now I want to know who the hell is going to start at the point guard position, because now that's up for grabs, Marquet. Can't wait to find that out.
Well, this is the irony. Like, Billy makes that change. He puts Caruso and Javonte into that starting unit. And they've played one game together, like that new starting five. And the minute he goes to it, basically, Javonte gets hurt after the Warriors game, I think it was. He's been out 3 games. Now Caruso's seemingly out for at least tomorrow's game. We hope Javonte's back for that game. So all of a sudden, Patrick Williams is remaining the starter. We'll see how long that lasts. Like, obviously, dependent on when Javonte gets back. But I have to assume Aya will slip back into that point guard position. So, yeah, particularly now that you're playing against Trey as well. But it kind of makes sense to put Aya back into that point guard position. But it is a bit annoying that they finally go to this look, the look that I wanted them to start the season with, and the one that probably makes most sense for where the team is at the moment. And then, for whatever reason, maybe it's just the way they play the basketball game, but like Javonte, Caruso immediately hurt. It's very annoying from that perspective. But hopefully they're minor things and both are back soon.
I like flip side in the comments saying Caruso is butt hurt. Technically speaking, dude's got a hurt butt. Dude's got a hurt tailbone.
Mark, what do you think about this super chat from Matthew Ray? Patrick Williams is a generational talent. Just give him time. I got faith in my boy.
Generational talent, Mark.
He's having a good day.
Yeah, look, I was going to say something. I won't. Matthew, thank you for your $4.99. We appreciate that very much. I'm glad you didn't compare him to Kawhi Leonard. So in that sense, good job by you. But look, as Dave said before, the Bulls won by 29. I'm not going to be pouring or raining on the parade from that perspective. I don't agree, but thank you for the super chat.
He's only 21 though, if you didn't know.
We're picking on him, Joe.
Oh my goodness. People in the comments are saying start Ayo because he's Trae Young's dad.
Yeah, no, Marquez made I forgot all about that. And when he said that, I was like, oh yeah, that makes the most sense. Is because all I remember is just him
locking
Trae
Trae up
in hell. Like
Yeah.
he just he hated him. He hated Ayo so damn much. So yeah, man, I think that'll be the good move. But also about Ayo, he's the one person when we were talking about making that move of him going to the bench. And the reason I was like he should be the one was for the reason we saw tonight. Is I said he's the one I'm not worried about mentally. Like that move is not going to affect him. Like he's not that kind of player. Like he just takes it and he comes back out with that same mentality. Like, dude, I'm that guy. It doesn't break his heart or it just inspires him. You know what I mean? And you saw that kind of play tonight, man. Like that was inspired basketball from Ayo Dosunmu. Even the last game, Ayo was solid. Like, he's just been solid. That's just how he rolls, man. And yeah, I'm just really proud of Ayo. Every time I see him out there doing this thing, I'm just really proud of that dude, man. He's great.
Yeah, definitely. Also, and like the first game he got benched was against the Warriors, and that's 9 points, whatever it was. Didn't miss a shot, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Tonight, 17 points off the bench. Did his thing defensively. Like to your point, Dave. Yeah, I had no issues with Ayo going to the bench because you knew how he was going to respond. Maybe less so with Pat, but yeah, this guy's mentality. It's never anything I've ever questioned. As soon as he stepped foot on the court in his rookie season, you could just tell this dude understood it. He knew how to. He just got it basically. So this was always going to work from an Ayo point of view. Interesting to see what happens tomorrow, assuming he goes back into that starting unit.
Speaking of that starting unit, we also got word after the game from Zach LaVine that he is planning to play tomorrow.
Let's go, Zach.
For just the second back-to-back set of games of the season for Zach. The Bulls had so many of those out of the gate when he was still nursing his way back to healthy and being good enough to play in back-to-back sets. Yeah. You also notice that in tonight's game, Zach, not needed down the stretch, only played 27 minutes. Love the fact that he was basically, you were saying late in that fourth, not late in the fourth, midway through the fourth, what the hell is DeMar DeRozan still doing out there?
Yeah.
DeMar ended up playing 32 minutes, but only 27 minutes for Zach tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very manageable on the front end of a back-to-back.
No question about it. And this is great, like honestly, because this means he's in a rhythm. You know what I mean? Like Zach is in a nice rhythm. That 40-point game answered a lot of questions for us and him as far as his knee is concerned. And you've just seen it kind of progressing. Like, yup, that's Zach. Every game now from that 41 on, I'm like, that's Zach LaVine. Yup, that's Zach LaVine. That's the guy I remember. The cutting, the slashing, the shooting, the passing. The pass you talked about that he had to Patrick Williams in the corner. Vicious. Beautiful pass that was. Like getting the steals. You know what I mean? So, yeah, why sit down? Like, he's like, no, dude, I'm in a nice rhythm right now. So, yeah, I'm going to continue with that. And yeah, he plays well against Atlanta, man. Like, he really put us up big numbers against that team.
Yeah, and they got a couple days off after the Atlanta game as well before they played the Knicks. So he gets 2 nights rest from that perspective as well. But coming back to Zach more generally, you noted it there, Dave. Like since that Kings game or within that Kings game, he's starting to look and feel more like the Zach we've seen in the past years. Like he had this play tonight that was very emblematic for me where he exploded off the bounce, exploded into Christian Wood's chest, and by doing so created separation at the rim and actually finished at the rim. Like one thing Zach hasn't been doing this year has been converting at the rim. He's been getting to the rim, but his field goal percentage at the rim has been, basically career lows almost. So like that's where we were starting to question like the viability of his knee and what the impact that was having on his game. But we saw tonight, like when he was getting to the rim, he was powering to the rim. So small signs that we're starting to see Zach get his stuff back together, which is nice and encouraging as the Bulls sort of progress through this easier schedule in December.
Schedule, man, looking good.
Come on, man, racking up them wins back to 500.
You know what else looked good, man?
What?
That belt right there that's sitting there on that table, baby. You know what it's time for. Hit me with it, Joseph. No, Joseph. I'm gonna talk. Joey don't like when I yell at him. He says that's too hard. Joey, could you please put up the graphic
Yes.
for Goon of the Night? If
Well, you
don't mind.
come out of it sometimes like so quickly that I, you know,
now it's too fast. Oh, okay. Before you told me it was because I was yelling. Now it's too
This
fast.
dude doesn't know what he
Yeah,
wants.
I mean, you.
Joseph, figure it out, man.
And I'm glad I called that guy.
Yes.
Allow me the pleasure of introducing you to Lisa.
that one cuts off early. I gotta fix it. We'll look into some more goon sounds.
Goon sounds. Before I go, of course, I must ask, Mark K, sir, who was your goon of the night in this ass whooping?
I never get it right, Dave. Every time I feel like I'm going to get it right, I never do. But my
answer.
goon tonight would be mine would be Dragic, because I love the way that he played against the. Like I said, the Mavericks should have had Dragic. They could have easily signed Dragic. So for him to come out and play the way he did, plus 18, 14 points off the bench, 4 assists, really sticking it to the Mavs from that point of view, like they would have loved to have Dragic out there tonight with Luka out, but. He would be my goon of the night for the way he played against the team that should have signed him. I love the way he went about it.
I like that. Mark?
What's my name?
Mark.
Isn't that right, Matt? There's so many good options tonight. I want to give it to Drummond for just like the dunks that Mark was describing earlier tonight that were just those classic Drummond.
The chat definitely votes for Drummond.
Get the F out of my way dunks.
The chat has spoken.
I also kind of want to give it to Dalen Terry, who got some action tonight.
Yeah.
4 minutes of mop-up duty in garbage time of a blowout win, not a blowout loss.
Yeah.
1 of 1 from the field.
Nice layup.
2 assists and a foul in 4 minutes of Dalen Terry. I love that.
So active.
Absolutely love that.
So active.
I also kind of want to give it to Derrick Jones Jr., who hit 4 of 5 threes off the bench.
That is
We
ridiculous.
will never see that again.
Ever?
Or Tony
Relish that, Bulls fans.
Tony
Breathe
Bradley?
that in, because that is never happening again.
Tony Bradley,
What,
Tony
because of
Bradley.
the 3-pointer he
Yeah.
hit?
1 of 1 from 3-point land.
100% from behind the arc. Talk about stones.
Outscored Kobe White.
I don't know when he doesn't get tick all the time to come in and have the balls to take that
and
shot.
we saw why when he got dunked on by JaVale McGee. We
Basically,
saw why.
I wanted to give Goon of the Night to the entire bench tonight. That's what I
That's fair. That's fair.
that's what I ended up with.
I like that. But Goon of the Night, sir. Andre Drummond. They're right. They're right. Sorry, Mark K. The streak continues. But dude, it was Drummond. Like Mark K. said earlier, like he can't. I don't know who was talking to him, but he just really did come in active and ready to play and violent. You know what I'm saying? In his movements and the dunks that he was having. First, he started with an alley-oop backwards dunk. Like, let's do that. And then let me just dunk on one person and then dunk on somebody else. And then the one where he came from the dotted line and tried to dunk on 3 people. You know, like he was really just on one. And I love to see it. Maybe it was Derrick Jones Jr. starting because Drummond definitely feels like he's still a starter in this league. He has said as much. So when you're putting in somebody else over him, when he feels like he's the man, might have pulled a Jordan and said, I take that personally. And he went out there and he proved it, man. Had 9 points, 7 rebounds, and a nice, wonderful belt for him, man. Andre Drummond is your goon of the night. Gotta get a sponsor for this.
See him in the comments said he chose violence tonight.
He chose violence. He did.
Gio saying he was vicious.
Yes.
Andre balled out tonight, said Drew.
Shady Rays would be a good sponsor for Goon of the Night.
You think so?
Because the graphic, I think the guy's got a little pair of sunglasses on.
He does.
Okay,
I
fair
think you're right.
enough. Yeah.
Dude's rocking some Rays.
Yeah. He is
Also, I
rocking
feel
some Rays.
They never understood why Drummond didn't get his respect coming off the bench.
Flip side saying, "Come on, y'all, Drummond invasion of the body catcher."
Yes.
Just so you guys know,
Body.
Flipside 23, that's actually your boy JR from Grand Rapids.
That's our boy Jr.
Yeah.
from Grand Rapids.
Yes, it is.
Lifelong. Well, I don't know
Sometimes,
about
because
lifelong,
sometimes
but
he says,
a long time.
a lot of the times he'll say at the beginning, yo, what's up? It's JR from Grand Rapids. But
He would
recently-
always hit us up on our old locked on mailbag.
That was always awesome.
Jr. from Grand Rapids. He's good people.
The good mailbag days. I remember those.
Flipside,
Those were fun.
23.
Those were fun.
So do we feel good about, like, yes, it's the second night of a back-to-back, but based on the way the Bulls played tonight and the Hawks team kind of be in a little bit of disarray. Also might be without DeJounte Murray. It sounds like they probably will be without DeJounte Murray. Just send Io out there to lock up Trey. Get ourselves a nice another W.
Go ahead, Marquez.
Well, I mean, there's no excuses now. Like, all right, cool, you're on a back-to-back. Yeah, you face the Mavs without Luka, a Mavs who themselves are on a back-to-back. You've eased your way out of this first game and you go into Atlanta. Yeah, you got to travel. Yeah, you got to play the Hawks, who are technically better than you based on the standings. But this isn't a good Hawks team. This is a Hawks team that are missing players as well. We mentioned DeJounte. John Collins and DeAndre Hunter, I'm assuming, remain out. So from that perspective, the Bulls, it's not like the Bulls will be facing a juggernaut Hawks team or anything like that. Okay, fine, you're without Caruso, so that's not ideal. But this is a game that you need to win, particularly when you want to get back to 500. In addition to that, later this week, you got 2 games coming up against the Knicks. 2 games where you should win. They're both at the UC. You take care of the Hawks, you get both of those Knicks games, and all of a sudden you're back to 14-14. We're back to 500. We're back to cooking. So let's do it. Like, this is the opportunity for the Bulls, and this is what I've been saying this whole time. A lot of people have been judging the Bulls based on the fact that based on the output, but without considering the fact that they had played one of the hardest, if not the hardest schedule in the NBA. This is now their opportunity to start facing a bit of a lighter schedule and start to mix things in, blend things in. So where does this team sit after this December period? I think there's a real chance by the time we hit 2023 that this team should at least be 500, and if not that, then above 500. So it'll be interesting to see if they can change perspectives, but ultimately it's on them to deliver. So let's see what they do tomorrow night. Let's see what they do with the rest of the weeks against the Knicks. But this is a really good platform for them to sort of start building on the season and to really right this ship.
You know, what I like is it feels like the Bulls are actually catching some basketball luck for the first time this season. And
maybe they were due for some.
Yeah, man, they were overdue. You know what I'm saying, for some of this. So, you know, you caught one with Luka, you know what I'm saying, not being out here. Now you catch one, you know, like you mentioned, DeJounte Murray, and not just him, just them being in disarray in general because of, you know, what's going on between the coach and Trae Young. So you're catching them at an opportune time to pounce on them and get this victory that you desperately, really, really want, and that you want to have and what you need as well. But yeah, man, like, it feels like they're catching some good luck right now, and they need to capitalize on it, like Mark K. So
is he still the coach of the Hawks presently?
No.
You said if I were the owner of the Hawks,
in spirit,
he would be fired yesterday.
I told you that, yeah, bro. He would have been out of there. Are you kidding me? Who you arguing with? Who? You told what? All right. Thanks for playing. I'm immediately gonna look at your resume and say, okay, no. All right, thank you for coming. Have a nice day, dog.
There's the door.
Trae Young, bro. That's like, I told him like that. I told John, like, it's the only way he wants to get rid of Jason Kidd so bad.
Yeah.
I told him the only way is going to be if Luka says anything. And when you saw Luka look at that bench yesterday in anger and disgust, I was like, yep.
Maybe it's coming.
You don't want that.
Maybe
Sorry,
it's
J. Kidd.
coming.
And you know I love you, Jason Kidd, bro. But
All right, y'all. We are out of time. Thank you, everybody. We got one more super chat.
One more super chat.
One more from Matthew Ray, who said CHGO should have a 3-point contest. I'd bet my entire bank account on a 7 beers deep Peck winning it all.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Nice.
I will take that bet.
We had a 3-point.
Yeah, you guys did in Vegas,
contest.
right? Mm-hmm. Who showed out for us?
I think we all made baskets.
The 3-point contest?
Yeah.
I was the one that won. Yeah.
Oh, you won
Big
the whole
Dave
thing.
was the most successful of the 3 of us between him, me, and Will. However, in my defense, I was sober.
Okay.
It was earlier in the day. I had not started drinking yet, and I was dehydrated.
Hold on. You telling me you had no beer?
We did that 3-point contest at like 10 in the morning.
That is not what I asked.
Right.
I said you had no beer.
I don't believe I had a beer yet that day. No.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Big Dave's stroking like that from outside, you're tough cover.
Amen.
Your little inside-outside game.
You know what I mean?
Get down on the
Can I
block.
just say, can we do this when I get over there? Because I reckon I could take you all out. I'm pretty confident in that. So Matthew Ray here in the super chat, he reckons Peck 7 beers into it. I'm telling you now, mate. If that ain't happening, I'm winning this contest. So let's film this bloody thing, and I'm taking you all down.
Talk that, Marquez.
But what if I also make you drink 7 beers and then we do a 3-point contest? Because I'm pretty sure I'm winning that.
I know my boy Goat. My boy Goatly.
I might have had 7 beers in the last 2 years, so it's okay. You might win that one.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So everybody drinks a beer, and then we have a 3-point shooting contest.
Well, apparently everybody drinks a beer, but I drink 7.
Yes, well, that's one for you.
Those are the rules according to Matthew Ray.
That's called a 1-peck beer. It's 7 of them, yes.
Yeah, my sister actually got me a shirt years ago when I was much younger that said it's only one in dog beers, and it was 7 beer cans that said like Woofaweizen on them. Shout out, sis.
Shout
Love
out,
that
man.
shirt.
That's awesome.
It's accurate.
Oh, and shout out DNVR, man. Shout out DNVR. Happy birthday to Brandon Spano, man. The big 4-0.
The big man.
Went on out there, man, to celebrate with him. Had an absolute blast out there. The DNVR bar
Truly.
is a special, special damn place.
Insane. So great to see so many of those DNVR people. Also, shout out to Brandon's better half, Lindsay, who
Yes.
organized the whole thing.
Yes.
Just an absolute saint.
awesome.
But, it's just awesome to see all the DNVR Nuggets guys
Yeah.
who we got to get to know a little bit more on that Vegas trip.
Yeah.
Saul from PHNX Suns was
Yeah,
out there. Shout out to
Saul,
him.
man.
Man, it was so cool.
Marquez,
Great to see them.
Marquez, you would have loved it because Matt and Lindsay got into an argument about Burks and socks, like wearing socks with Burks. And
It's true.
yeah, it was pretty
But
damn entertaining.
she was on my team in the All City Slack discussion the other day about how salmon burgers are bullshit. She was on my side that burgers should only be made of beef.
Oh, see, I missed that argument. I missed that.
Yeah.
I got to get in on this, man, because
Oh,
those are
how
lies.
convenient that you missed that.
No, yeah, I did. I definitely missed it, but I will
Mm-hmm.
be returning. No, those are all lies. Salmon burgers are freaking amazing, and you need you one in your life.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Things are delicious.
All right, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet before you head out of here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget to get your tickets to our CHGO Bulls Takeover.
Do it.
Next Friday, December 16th, Bulls-Knicks. Pre-gaming right here, Crossroads, downtown in the West Loop.
Yeah.
Mark K, follow him on Twitter for all of his great Bulls takes, MK Hoops. Also, read his thoughts, allchgo.com. Joey is at Joey Spathis. He is our great producer and our pal.
Question
Big
1000.
Dave is at Balby AWL Sports. Bulls _ Peck is my tag. We are CHGO _ Bulls. You can find the tickets link there and our website, allchgo.com.
Yeah.
For Mark, Joey, and Big Dave, and all of you out there in Bulls Nation, I'm Peck. Thanks as always for watching. Love ya. Appreciate ya. See you tomorrow. No pregame tomorrow. We will see you after Bulls Hawks for postgame. See you, be good.
Peace.